This video details the steps required to admit a patient with suspected HCID infection safely from referral to arrival. The process requires input from the infectious diseases registrar and consultant, the virologist on call, the nurse in charge on E-floor, the duty matron and the security team. Early and clear coordination with these groups is key for the process to run successfully. Action cards are available in the HCID policy on the STH intranet and in the HCID cupboard on E2. The on-call ID registrar receives a referral from the emergency department. The patient has returned from sub-Saharan Africa with a fever. The ID registrar realises the possibility of an HCID and decides to perform an initial risk assessment. They work through the UK HSA VHF algorithm, additionally referring to the ProMed Mail Outbreaks Map. The doctor suspects HCID based on initial risk assessment and advises the ED team to treat as possible VHF and to isolate the patient. They take the contact details and states that they will be in touch with further instructions shortly. The doctor opens the action cards and works through each one. They call the ID consultant on call and the virology consultant on call to inform and confirm the risk assessment. The doctor informs the nurse in charge about the patient in the ED who is suspected to have an HCID infection. The nurse in charge retrieves the action card folder from the HCID cupboard. The nurse in charge checks the bed state and works out which patients may need to be moved to make room for the HCID patient. Patients with suspected or confirmed HCID are ideally housed in rooms 9 and 10 or 14 and 15, as these are purpose-built rooms with a unidirectional circuit for entry and exit. Once a bed is identified, the nurse in charge briefs the team and assigns jobs. Patients are moved, the rooms are cleaned and set up ready for the patient's arrival. They should also call the duty matron and security team to alert them of the admission. The matron can also assist with bed moves if required. Following the action cards, the doctor brings up the blood ordering system and searches for the ID VHF suspected order set. They print the specimen labels and prepare the sampling kit in advance, pre-labelling the specimens and request forms. You may wish to refer to the diagnostic sampling posters and sampling handling video for a detailed guide on how to prepare the samples. Usually, a clinical support worker will set up the room. There is a checklist available in the HCID Action Cards policy. There are several key items to include: a telephone, a clinical waste bin, an empty sharps bin, a clinical observations machine, water for the patient, and a pen. It's a good idea to keep items entering the room to a minimum. Once the bed is ready, the nurse in charge speaks to ED to arrange for transfer, to gather relevant information and to explain that they will book the transport to the ID unit. Transport is specifically done by the ID team to ensure the ambulance crew are aware of what PPE they need to wear and the procedure they need to follow to transfer from the ambulance to the ward. Once the patient is approximately 10 minutes away, the nurse in charge makes a final communication to the matron and security. The team don HCID assessment PPE and collect the patient from C Road. See the next video for details of the route. The team then make the assessment. This is the end of this video. For further videos, printable large format posters, online learning, or to book an HCID simulation training course, please visit hcidtraining.co.uk.